What's really cool here, it looks like some kind of solar panel field out in California. We have left Las Vegas just for a day trip here to California. We're going to try to go to Hollywood, California, and have just crossed over the state line from Nevada to California. And I see there's like a solar field out here. Just looks like hundreds, if not thousands, or millions, I don't know, thousands, millions of solar panels out there in the desert, in the mountains, collecting sun power for California, I think. So it looks like they are harvesting solar energy. I don't think this was here last time I was here, which was about 9 years ago. So this is something that looks like it's new. I mean, it's just incredible when you look out there, all the panels they had out there. It's like a farm. I guess you would call it a solar farm, because they had it all spread out. It's still, I mean, it's still running here. It's miles and miles long. They're just panels laying out, shining up at the sky there. I assume that it's solar. Maybe not. I'd have to Google it and look on the map and see what's going on there with that. But you can see we're obviously not in Florida. The mountains look a little bit different here. This is the mountains that separate, I guess, California from Nevada. Yeah. So it should be a lot different once we cross over the mountains, because right now it still looks deserty. We're still in the desert. But I think when we cross over the mountains, all the mountains here, it's going to start to look more like the California we always see on TV and movies, you know, where it's green and not all desert like this. Although, you know, the desert does exist in California. So California is pretty cool because it's got the beach, it's got the desert, it's got the regular, you know, hills, and I don't know if it has any flatlands, but a lot of different terrains. And I think that may be one of the reasons, you know, they set up Hollywood over there, is it gives them so many different things they can film in one state. Florida, on the other hand, is mostly flat. I mean, we don't have any mountains at all, and only a few hills. I would say almost Florida is like almost the exact opposite of California. So it's kind of ironic or funny that they set up a Hollywood, Florida, although they don't really do movies there. But Florida seems to have mostly swamp and basically that's it, flatlands, you know, swamp and flatlands. Although we saw in Central and North Florida there were some hilly terrain, but for the most part, Florida doesn't have much variety in landscape. But here we are in California. Hopefully my camera won't give out and I'll be able to film some stuff for you to share with you when we hit Los Angeles. We're not going to stay too long. We're going to try to go by Hollywood. That's our big stop. I've had to make adjustments to the trip and am cutting it a little bit short because of funding issues. But it's okay. I mean, this was the plan all along, was to try to make it at least out this far and check the finances and see if it was going to allow us to go further. It's not going to, so sadly, this is really our last big day of adventure. We're going to be heading back towards Florida tomorrow. Essentially, we're going to spend today running around California looking at Hollywood. And then we're going to turn around and head back to Las Vegas for one last night to sleep. The next morning, check out and continue our journey back east towards Florida. Not going to be going real slow this time, though. Kind of a rush back because that's what the budget allows for. We're not going to be able to take a lot of side detours. But it was a very interesting trip. Got to see a lot of different things, experienced a lot of different terrains and even different weathers. We started off in Florida in the high 70s, low 80s. Went out to the mountains where it dropped to the 50s. You know, the mountains out east, the Smoky Mountains. Then from there, we went all the way out to Colorado, where temperatures actually got cold enough. We hit some type of snowstorm and drove through snow. Actually got to have snow on my hands and on my head and throw a snowball at my wife. So that was interesting. And then after that, we crossed over to Utah, where we hung out at the Arches National Park. and got to see the different arches. Sadly, a lot of the video segments and pictures got lost because we had technical difficulties with the cameras. Then we made it out to Las Vegas, where we got to experience Las Vegas city life. You know, the boulevard and the strip and stuff. We didn't really hang out around Las Vegas, the city, but hung out around the touristy areas, because I guess that's why you go to Las Vegas, right? You don't go there to hang out at Walmart. So we did that, and as the trip wraps up, I wanted to head out to California, and we're for sure going to try to touch the Pacific again. I don't know if you guys are longtime followers of the channel, then you know me comparing the beaches, California versus Florida beaches. Well, we're gonna get to do it again, because this will be my second time back to California, and I do plan on heading all the way to the beach to touch the water and let my wife touch the water, so we can say we touched the Pacific. And I'll be doing a comparison again of the beaches, since I haven't been here in about 9 years, just to see if the beaches have changed and what's going on. I know that Las Vegas wise, things have changed quite a bit. I mean, there's still the same landmarks, some of them, but a lot of it's so different. And even the roads, it seems like Las Vegas changes itself every 2 to 5 years. It's more rapid than even Orlando. I felt that Orlando is always destroying, you know, landmarks and putting up new things, but Las Vegas is even faster than that. And I was really saddened that a lot of the free shows in Las Vegas, I'll show you some of the scenery here while we're driving, just so you can see what the mountains here look like for those of you who have never been to California and plan on coming one day, or maybe never planning on coming, but I figured it might be interesting for you to see what the scenery looks like here as we drive from Nevada to California. But anyhow, as I was saying, now I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, probably not that important, right? I think I'm going to sign out for now, because I'm starting to forget what I'm talking about. But, you know, I guess the other thing is just saying that I wanted to see what the beaches look like, and see if they're still charging. Last time I think it was like $12 to $15 to park at California beaches, whereas in Florida, most places you can still park for free. But they're starting to charge in Florida, although I still don't think they're charging $15 to park, which they do here. Speaking of parking, I think I'll try to do a segment on parking in Las Vegas, because I did see some van dwellers. I didn't film them for privacy reasons, just wanted to give them some privacy, but I'll tell you some spots that I noticed that are still free, and you could probably stealth camp overnight. When we were there, we had a hard time parking. Well, we didn't really have a hard time parking. We had a hard time parking for free, because places that used to be free, that I thought were free, they started charging. And we're talking like $10 to park there. That's just $10 to park in a parking lot, so you can get out and walk around. But I will show you some really cool spots that I found while we were there the last couple days. Just spots where you could possibly park overnight for free if you're a van dweller, as long as you're stealth about it. So I'll share that with you. So if you're visiting Las Vegas, you'll at least have at least two locations for sure that I think are okay for stealth camping. Meanwhile, welcome to California, everybody. Okay, just thought I would do a really quick recording here. We are actually getting ready to drive through Los Angeles. Yeah, the city. Isn't that crazy? Of course, you can see the traffic jam here, which I think for this area is normal. I'm really glad I don't live here. That's one thing that really drives me nuts, is traffic jams like this, just trying to go somewhere. We are trying to head over to Hollywood, California, and I think it's less than 15 minutes away, but it's going to take more than 30 minutes. I mean, less than 14 miles away from here, I think. And it's going to take us more than 30 minutes to get there, because this is what traffic is like around here. I suppose the people who live here on a regular basis, they're familiar with it and, you know, used to this. But for me, I'm like, man, I could not stand this traffic. But anyhow, just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know where we're currently at right now. And hopefully the next time you see me, we're going to be in Hollywood. Hey, we are currently on Hollywood Boulevard.
Head north on Northwestern Avenue toward Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, I know, we're on Hollywood Boulevard.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto North Harvard Boulevard.
Okay, we're gonna have to disable the GPS because GPS is set for us to go to the Hollywood Boulevard, the Hollywood sign, and I decided to take a detour to drive down Hollywood Boulevard because this is Hollywood Boulevard.
Take the next left onto North Harvard Boulevard.
So let me go ahead and get out of this recording here because otherwise the GPS is going to come up and keep telling me to turn. Okay, we're still on Hollywood Boulevard. I was having issues with the GPS, obviously, if you saw the other clip. GPS kept coming on to tell me I'm going the wrong way because I wasn't heading towards the Hollywood sign. We're currently on Hollywood Boulevard, heading away from the tourists, the main display. So I'm going to turn back around and try to get us back into what you see as Hollywood. You get all the homeless people here camping. Maybe you'll see it when we turn around and drive. I am going to try to turn around here and loop back. My wife was pointing out all the tents on the streets. So sad, actually. Here, you can see it here. There are people here who are living on the streets. I try to get the camera at them if I can turn around here without getting hit. It's just hard for me to turn around. I'm having a hard time just turning around here. I'm going to try to turn around here and do something totally illegal. This is illegal as heck. I just turned up to the fire station. But I wanted to point out, this is one of the issues in a big city like this. I don't know if you can see you're going to see like a little mini tent city here with all the homeless people. They're just living right off Hollywood Boulevard in tents. This is what's happening in big cities like this and across America. People are losing their homes. You're having two types of people. People who are very rich, who have money, and those who cannot even afford to live. That's what's happening. It's very sad. And then the people who have the money, they want to kick these people off the streets. This is how they are living now because they don't have any money. Yeah, that was just me talking to my wife, explaining to her the situation that we're looking at. We're coming up on Hollywood Boulevard right now. I am going to leave the camera tilted a little bit so you can kind of get a, see if I can tilt it a little bit more here. So you can get a side view as I drive by instead of just looking straight ahead, which you don't see much. So at least this way you're sort of seeing a side view of the street. But you'll see some more tents here that my wife was pointing out to me. I see this lady and I want to run her over. She's in purple. You can see the people here are very colorful. So here's a tent city here, but it's being blocked by this big truck. Maybe you'll see it a little bit when we drive by. This is what the homeless situation looks like in Hollywood. Quite sad. Anyhow, we are going to continue on. I am hoping that I'm pretty sure this is the end that we head on to get into the Hollywood Boulevard that you always see on TV where they have the stars, the sidewalk with the stars on it. Because obviously you come to Hollywood, California, you want to go there. So we're going to try to park there and walk around, get some pictures. We're not staying very long because of the time constraint and the budget situation. So we're just going to be here for a couple hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours in Hollywood and in Los Angeles before we head back to Las Vegas for our last day before we head back to Florida. So sadly we are on turn around and head home. So right now the trip odometer shows 3,609 miles. And you've got to add about 40-50 miles onto that to show how far we've actually traveled. So we traveled a little under 4,000 miles on the trip so far. And the trip home may not be as long because obviously we're not heading out east again towards the Smoky Mountains. And we are not going to be taking a lot of deviations. It's almost a beeline. We might take a couple deviations to go look at certain places and things, but for the most part, we're beelining at home. Okay, car just cut out. These people here drive weird. They are from California, and I guess this is how they drive around here. Now this video is going to have to be edited. This camera's shaking like crazy. Apologies for that.
Did you see how they park it?
Yeah, the parking on the side. And there's meters.
They don't park like us the other way.
What are you talking about?
Look how the car is parking.
Yeah, this is normal parking in the city. This is normal parking in any city.
But no, in Florida, you never saw that in Florida.
Yeah, you do it in Orlando. Yeah, I'll show you. Normal city parking, you park on the side like this. Hey, my wife never saw this before, but you park like this. There's a looks like a recycling truck up your head. Tilt the camera. Got a mail truck there. Look, mail van. Woohoo! You probably parked there. He probably has time in it, but I'm trying to take us.
This is the parking.
The parking meter. But see, I don't see coin slots. I don't see where you put money in, and we got to get out of here. This guy is sitting here. Thank you. He's letting me over. He's letting me over. So they are nice here. I was just telling my wife that the people in California generally are rude. I mean, any big city that you have, like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, where people are congested and packed and always fighting, you know, they're fighting for space. They're fighting to get on the road. They're fighting to turn. They're fighting all the time. People generally behave in a rude manner. But I was actually very much pleasantly surprised a second ago here when the truck behind me let me over. So, just giving you guys a side view. I think this is the best way to show you instead of just shot down the street, because at least this way you have something to look at, and I'll show you a little bit of the street so you can see what's coming up. That way you get a nice view here of the street and can see a little bit of what we're seeing. But my hope is to go down to Hollywood. I mean, we are on Hollywood Boulevard, but to go down to the section that has the touristy stuff and Rodeo Drive and all that. I think Rodeo Drive's at the end of this or nearby. I forget. And then after we do the touristy stuff, we're going to try to go up to the Hollywood sign. My understanding is that this Hollywood sign that's up there now is a new one. That the old one fell apart or something, and they had to build a new one. So they made a new one that's smaller than the old one, if I remember correctly. Just a little bit of trivia there. And of course, I don't know if you saw the hills there from here. You probably can't from the angle, but you'll see the houses that they have on the hills, the Hollywood Hills, full of houses. And the roads here are so tiny. It's like, I think we are here now at the touristy side. I am going to have to cut over here. This is what happens when you're a tourist. There's a sign that says homeless. LAscandal.org. See that big sign there?
Yep.
They have this dream of people coming out here, and you can't afford to live here. A lot of homeless people. What's really bad and crazy, on the other end, Gloria, people have money. So much money, it's unbelievable.
Where the rich people live?
Here, in the hills, right? The poor people sleeping on the street, the rich people are walking right by them. You'll see BMWs and Mercedes and all sorts of expensive cars. And then there are people sleeping on the sidewalk. And then the police come and chase them off. They're not even allowed to sleep there. But a lot of people here are stuck living in vans because of that. They lost their homes. So it's a sad world. You have one group with lots of money, and you have one group with nothing. No more middle. See, look, here's all the people living here. I don't know if you can see these guys. This is their home. They live on Hollywood Boulevard. At least they have tents. And it looks like the fact that the tents are set up looks like maybe the police are leaving them be. But it's getting worse. And here's the other problem. It's not just here that it's happening. You see it happening here because there's so many people here. But what's happening here is happening everywhere else too. Like even in Orlando, there's a homeless problem, which maybe I will show you the homeless problem in Orlando. But we saw it even in Melbourne, you know, Florida, where we were. I was hanging out with all the bicyclists here. I don't want to hit this guy. But there's homeless people everywhere. And this is the first place I've seen where they actually set up tents on the sidewalks of the streets. So we're hitting the touristy side now. And I'm going to be trying to pull over soon so that we can walk around a little bit and see Hollywood. Although I'm trying to figure out where are the... Yes, we are here at the tourist side with the stars. So we are definitely at the tourist area. So now it's just a matter of pulling over somewhere. I couldn't even tell we were here until I looked over on the sidewalk.
Nothing for see here.
There is. Look at the stars. Do you see the sidewalk? Those are movie stars.
Where?
See the pink stars? It just looks more exciting on TV than what you see here. I'm looking for parking right now. We're gonna walk. This is the boulevard. This is where people come. But remember I told you it looks so exciting on TV, but then in real life it looks like cocoa? This is what it looks like. It looks like crap. For those of you, I don't know if you overheard that conversation with my wife and I, but I was trying to tell her that Hollywood Boulevard, you know, you see it on TV. It's got that, Chinese Man Theater and all that. And they have the little stars. I'm going to show you here. See the sidewalk? I don't know if you can see the sidewalk here, but you can see that little part of the sidewalk right there. See the little star? That's what it looks like. It's really not too impressive when you get here and you go, what the heck? It looks junky. I was telling her that, you know, Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, the one you see on the TV and stuff, looks so exciting, so glamorous. But in real life, it looks a lot like Cocoa, which is a Cocoa, yeah, not even Cocoa Beach, but Cocoa, the run downtown in Melbourne, you know, not Melbourne, but in Cocoa. It's junky and poor and broke and junky looking. But this is what Hollywood actually looks like. When you watch it on TV, it always looks really, really good. But when you see it in real life, this is what it looks like. It doesn't have much at all. Now, I've just pulled in, and I'm gonna have to try to pay here. It says, gotta park here. I'm not very good at parallel parking, and I didn't parallel park, so I'm just kind of backing in here, getting this out of the way. They do have a looks like a pay booth there, and I'm gonna pay. Just pull in a little bit more so we don't get hit here. And back up. Give myself room to get out. And the other car room to get out. Maybe when people lock you in and you can't even get out. All right, I think we're here. So let me go ahead and stop the camera, and we're gonna go ahead and take a walk around Hollywood Boulevard. Stay tuned. All right, I parked over there and decided to make a payment here. This is kind of confusing, but you have to like hit it and then tell it the slot number, then make your payment, but they don't give you a ticket or anything. I guess they have it on the computer that can tell how long you've been here, but let me look at the time. I've got an hour and a half. So that's the maximum it'll let me park here. So at this point, we're gonna walk around. We got an hour and a half to walk around Hollywood Boulevard. You can see here, I don't know who Burt Whitell is, but evidently famous enough to have a Hollywood star. Sammy K right here. I'm going to go in. This is Rob Reiner. We all know Rob Reiner. I guess he's, I think he's a famous director. An actor, maybe. Carl Reiner. Maybe it's not the same Reiner. Fred McMurray. A lot of names. We'll see if we can find some that are more well known.